Well, when I was back here in Montana pheasant hunting, I did a little bit of gun work. I got this old, I think it's a 1926 Savage 253,000 from Mike, my brother-in-law, who I do most of my trading with. We found a Spitzer bullet loaded in a reload, and as wasn't so surprising, it did keyhole. It had a very long lead pointed point on it, because the twist in these old rifles is 1 in 14, and it's significantly worn in this one. This is an old, as I said, but it's a takedown. And they're really cool old guns. But the twist in them makes them hard to deal with. Most people nowadays say they shoot the 100 grain Winchester factory silver tip best. But even with one of those, you can see that hole that I shot with one isn't nice and round like these 257 holes I shot out of a Roberts. Now I found an old, well, it's not old, but I found a 220 Swift shell holder, but it wouldn't fit in this old C&H press. So it was really quite a trick to finally get a bullet loaded. But I did. Now these are supposed to be better. These 100 grain, old, very old, Remington mushroom bullets. Here's the box I found at a gun show. Really a hard thing to find. And that was what they loaded in the 253,000 back in the day. When they wanted a 100 grain bullet, they had to load these, because they wouldn't stabilize a pointed bullet. The whole idea was to achieve 3,000 feet per second, and they had to go to an 87 grain bullet. So we got one of these loaded up now with the 100 grain round nose. And I'm going to take it out and shoot it and just see if possibly I can get a nice round hole like that. It would be kind of nice too. I can take it deer hunting back east. What was I going to say? That's what happens when you forget. You can't say what you were going to say. I used an array of dies, 257 Weatherby for seating. I had to put a bullet up in the die and then seat it against the bottom of that to get it seated way in, because you had to seat it way into this. I think it's called a cantilever, something like that line. And oh yeah, what I was going to say, I ended up using Reloader 22 powder, which is a lot slower than I would like to have used. And so it'll have a lot less velocity, and it might not stabilize it. I'll be surprised if it does. I'm probably only going to get 2,300 feet per second. And the factory ammo is loaded to about 27, I think, with a 100 grain bullet. But we'll see. We're gonna, not we, but me, I'm gonna go out and do that now, and then I'm gonna try and splice that video into this one. So it'll be my first Grizzly Peterson episode that has been edited with a splice. Don't know if it's going to happen. It might have to be another YouTube video, which wouldn't be the end of the world either. Any pheasants out there today? I don't see any. That's funny. Okay. Closing for now, Grizzly Peterson.